So Tsering, you're a long-term practitioner of Buddhism since many, many years. You have made a 3 years retreat. You have been teaching Buddhism since a few years. And what is the Eightfold Path for you as a teacher and also as a practitioner? What is the importance of it?
Well, I think in the West we have this tendency to kind of jump from one thing to another, and we kind of quite in a hurry to get to the highest teaching. So sometimes people, after a few years, they have heard about Four Noble Truths and Eightfold Path a few times, and then they think they take it for granted, and then they go after Mahamudra or Dzogchen or whatever high teachings, thinking that they will get something else from there that they didn't get from Four Noble Truths or Eightfold Path or any other of these considered as foundation teachings. What I find is that actually there are many different ways to explain the Eightfold Path, and especially there are many different ways of experiencing it, and you can actually go into a very deep experience of the Eightfold Path, and there's nothing lacking there. You don't find anything more actually in these highest teachings, because if you have integrated and experienced and deeply lived this Eightfold Path, you naturally get to the same result. Maybe you will not explain it in the same way, but how you feel it probably will be almost the same. So I find it is extremely useful from the beginning to the end, because that kind of summarizes very well the whole of Buddhist teachings. And what about considering the ethics part? I think this is one thing I find very important for the West, because we find in the West many times that freedom, we are very keen on freedom, and freedom for us is kind of doing whatever crosses our mind. And I think once we get into that path, we really get lost, because what happens in our mind very often is not very wholesome in the first place, and then we get completely controlled by our emotions. So ethics is a very good way to become a little bit more rooted and a little bit more balanced also. So it's not at all something that binds us or takes away our freedom, quite the opposite actually, because once you become free from your emotions, and there's nothing else to become free from. I mean, the laws and the things outside yourself never bind you. What binds you is your emotions, and if you don't have any kind of weapon to resist them, or to any kind of argument not to follow whatever crosses your mind, then you're completely bound. So bound to samsara, really. So there is nothing wrong, and there's nothing kind of basic about following the Eightfold Path. On the contrary, it's a very it's excellent way to become more and more free.
Thank you.